trying to fix my headset the way I want it, and I'm smacking it all over the place here. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Legion Field in Roseburg, Oregon. I'm Joey Kieran. Welcome for Roseburg baseball as today the Indians get ready to take on the Westview Wildcats in a non-conference matchup, playoff tune-up game for the Indians here today. We welcome you into the broadcast here from Legion Field on an overcast day in Roseburg. The Roseburg Indians, with their 16-7 record, host the number one ranked Westview Wildcats, who come in at 23-2 this season. Out of the Metro League, the Wildcats, winners there, going 16-0 to claim another conference championship. The Roseburg Indians, 12-6 out of the Southwest Conference, finished second this year in the conference slate. The Roseburg boys looking to build some momentum as they get ready to head into the playoffs beginning next week. And today they take on the Westview Wildcats, who are still waiting to find out who they'll face in the first round of the upcoming state playoffs. It is a great day for baseball and a chance for both of these teams to try and build some momentum going into the postseason. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get a chance to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson here during our Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show. Want to remind all of our fans who are tuning in for today's broadcast that you can watch the action streaming live for free online at 541radio.com. You can also follow the action streaming there. You can listen to the game if you're unable to watch the contest while it's going on as well. So a lot of action for you here today as we continue on with the Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show. Well, Coach, I'll have you go and tell those guys, and I'll get the information from them. They're the PA down there. Thank you there. Sounds like we've already got a change to the Westview Wildcat lineup for today, but we'll get this all settled in as we get ready to go here. Excited to have Westview finally here. It's been a couple of years that they've been trying to get Westview to make the trip down here. Roseburg's gone up north to play against Westview. Last couple of years it's been at Ron Tonkin Field when the Roseburg Indians have squared off against the Wildcats, but today they get them here at Legion Field. Our pregame show is brought to you by Dr. Kobernick Family Dental. They go out of their way to make your experience warm, comfortable, and friendly. Call Dr. Kobernick today at 673-6525 or stop by at 1600 Northwest Hewwood in Roseburg. As we make our way towards first pitch of today's ball game, we'll stop to talk with head coach Troy Thompson. That's coming up next here in the pregame show. Our pregame coaches interview brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home. Back with more of the Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show after this 2-minute break here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer, and you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back with more of our pregame here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Get a chance to, here in the pregame show, get a chance to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson. It's our pregame coaches interview brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. And Coach Thompson with us here now. Coach, regular season, the conference season comes to an end. You guys finished second. Feel good about that. Got a split on the road against North Medford. Normally, a split on the road, you'll take that. It may not always be what you wanted, but you'll take that. But that was one where you guys, in the last games you were out there, had a chance to win in game one, and it fell apart late for you. But still getting a split against North and winning that season series. Did you guys finish the season on a high note as you get ready for the postseason?
I sure thought so. That would have been a nice one to get there, game one against North, but it just didn't happen. Credit North for continuing to battle and come back and do the things they did. And we certainly had our chances to put that game away earlier before the seventh inning. So that one was on us. But game two was impressive by our kids to get down early. Not that part was impressive, but to battle back from being down early and kind of stay with it on a hot, long day there. Sometimes the tough team wins. And we played like that day. We took the lead there in the seventh, and Cody came out in the bottom half and was great on the mound to finish up and to allow us to get that split. And I've always, we talk about it a lot to the kids. When you get beaten game one, the best you're going to come out of there with is a split. So we made sure we were able to do that, and that was a good ending to our league season. Obviously, we would have loved to have gotten that game. We would have loved to have gotten all the games we lost in league, but it just doesn't work out like that sometimes. So we were pleased with the split. If you can be pleased with the split, but I was proud of the way the kids competed throughout the day and come out of there with that win in game two was a big deal.
Today we've got Westview here at Legion Field. It's a makeup game, but kind of will serve as maybe a bit of a tune-up for the postseason. And as we look towards that playoff, we know it's Sherwood going to be here at Legion Field coming up next Monday. But before, obviously, you guys are focused on Westview today, so we won't talk about that. But just looking at the conference, you get 5 or 6 teams out of the conference into the postseason. You think that the Southwest Conference represented well this year amongst the rest of the state?
It sure seems like that, and that's not really a surprise for anybody that follows baseball throughout the state or follows our conference in any of the sports that our teams play in. We do a good job in the springtime as well, getting those teams into the playoffs and having a chance to win those playoff games. So it's a nice thing to know that when you're in your league season, you're playing playoff caliber teams every time you go out. So, and that played out this year with, like you said, 6 of the 7 getting a chance to play extra baseball in the playoffs. So that's been a great deal for our league for a number of years.
And mentioned that this one kind of a tune-up for you guys here today as you get ready for the postseason. Westview comes in the number 1 ranked team in the state. You've already faced a team ranked number 1 once before, as South Medford held that spot for a little while. But Westview comes in, a team with great pedigree, as they've made some deep runs and have been one of those top teams in the state. The chance to play a team of that caliber here today, how much does that help you guys going into the postseason?
Well, I hope it helps us a lot. That's why we schedule those guys early. This year, we had Westview, South Salem, and Clackamas on our board early, and those games didn't happen. So to be able to, pick this game up a couple months later is a great deal for us. Now, of course, they've had the season they've had and have, come in ranked number 1 and won a whole bunch of games and done all those things. That's great for them. And it gives our kids a chance to see one of these teams that comes out of the metro area and come down to Roseburg and see what that looks like. So it's a great opportunity for us, and we feel good about it, the chance to get on the field with them today. And like you say, kind of a tune-up type game, but still a game that can show, and you can learn a lot from this game, good or bad or all those things. So we're anxious to have them here. We're glad they were able to make the trip, and we were able to make it work on the schedule to pick up that game we didn't get in way back in March.
All right, well, we look forward to today's matchup, the Roseburg Indians taking on the Westview Wildcats. That is your Fisher's Hearth and Home pregame coaches interview with head coach Troy Thompson. We'll come back with more of your Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show after this here on 1490 The Score.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here with our final segment of the Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show as we get ready to go for Roseburg and Westview squaring off here today from Legion Field. Joey Keyran here with you. I want to say thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for his production work of today's radio broadcast. Again, the game streaming online at 541radio.com. As we get ready to go for first pitch of today's ball game, let's take some time here on the Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show to run through the Supercuts starting lineup. Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. First for head coach Matt Bailey, who leads the Westview Wildcats. It's his first year with the program, taking over for Steve Antich, who was the head coach last year but resigned the position. Matt Bailey will send out a starting 9 that has Evan Williamson leading things off, playing in center field. Willie Weiss, the pitcher, will bat second. Ben Brockman, the second baseman, will hit third. Monte Woods, the third baseman, batting in the cleanup spot, followed by Jacob Cox, the shortstop, hitting fifth. Carter Sakamoto, the catcher, will bat in the 6th hole, followed by Mason Guerra, the first baseman, batting 7th. Tyler Antich, the left fielder, will hit 8th, and Bo Willoughby is a late start in right field. Payson Manning apparently rolling his ankle in the outfield grass before today's ball game, and Manning is scratched from the lineup. It'll be Bo Willoughby to start in right field to round out the starting lineup for the Westview Wildcats. Then on the other side for the Roseburg Indians, your Supercuts starting lineups have Garrett Russell leading things off, playing in center field. Caden Johnson, the second baseman, will hit second. Jonathan Stone, the first baseman, will bat third. Brody Black, the DH, is hitting in the cleanup spot. Zach Mandera will play at third base, hits 5th. Cody Johnson's at shortstop, hitting 6th. Doran Gillespie plays in left field. He will bat 7th, followed by the 8-hitter, the catcher, Terrell Jacks. And playing in right field and batting 9th is Jet Black, the DH being utilized for Roseburg, for pitcher Jace Stoffel. And that is a look at your Supercut starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online. That's supercuts.com. Getting ready for first pitch. The Indians doing some final yard work out there on the baseball diamond as they get things ready to play, and the coaches will head out to exchange the lineup cards for today's matchup. Roseburg Indians coming in 16-7 overall this year. Well, Westview is 23-2. They've won 16 straight as they go 16-0 in league play out of the Metro League. Their last loss, their non-leaguer that they had just before beginning league play. In Metro League action, Westview 16-0, ranked number 1 in the state. Jesuit, number 4 in the state, at 13-3, finished second in the conference. Century was ranked number 17. They go 10-6. And Southridge, ranked number 24, goes 8-8. Those are your top 4 finishers and your automatic qualifiers for the OSAA 6A state playoffs. Then you had a couple of all at-large bids that were secured by the Metro League this year. Sunset, ranked number 20, goes 7-9 in conference. And number 23, Beaverton, goes into the state playoffs with a 7-9 record as well. Glencoe was a play-in participant. The Glencoe Crimson Tide finished 6-10 in the Metro League, was ranked number 29, but they lost yesterday against McMinnville 7-5 in a play-in game, so Glencoe's season came to an end. So you've got a total of 6 teams making it in to the first round of the state playoffs. Out of the Southwest Conference, the Roseburg Indians finished second, 12-6, behind number 2 ranked South Medford, who went 16-0 in the Southwest Conference. South Eugene finished at number 19 in the rankings, 10-8 in conference play. They're number 3. And North Medford went 8-10. They were ranked number 25 in the state. That's your final automatic qualifier from the Southwest Conference. Then a couple of play-in games for the Southwest Conference. Grants Pass at 7-11, ranked number 30, and number 31 Sheldon at 6-12. Both made it into the play-in round. Sheldon played yesterday when all of the games were scheduled, although for some reason Grants Pass had to cancel their game. But Sheldon plays yesterday, wins 7-4 against North Salem to qualify for the first round of the 6A state playoffs. So now 5 teams have made it into the first round of the state playoffs out of the Southwest Conference. Grants Pass plays today. They are hosting Forest Grove in a play-in game. Good luck to the Cavemen trying to make it into the first round of the 6A state playoffs. Looking at the playoffs, Southwest Conference teams, you're going to have North Medford at West Lynn for their playoff game. South Eugene's at Grant. Roseburg hosts Sherwood on Monday for their first-round playoff game. South Medford's waiting to find out who they'll play in the first round of the state playoffs. They've got all the play-in round games except for Grants Pass and Forest Grove done, so they're waiting for that one to get done. Then all the teams that are left, their rankings, get them placed into the bracket, and that's when we'll find out all the matchups. So South Medford and Sheldon's both waiting to find out their first-round playoff matchups, and Grants Pass, if they make it in, they'll find out tonight who they'll be facing in the first round come Monday. That is a look at where these two teams have been, how they got here to today. Today's contest doesn't really have any effect on any of that postseason stuff except for the mental side of the game. Both these teams will be looking to try and carry a win into the first round of the state playoffs coming up on Monday next week. For Westview, they're trying to make it 17 straight wins before they begin the first round of the state playoffs. Roseburg would try to have back-to-back wins before they begin the playoffs on Monday. But today's game, other than that, nothing else really on the line since the rankings froze. That's what I was trying to say. The rankings froze back on Saturday after Roseburg finished out their conference season. So you've got nothing to do with the rankings. Roseburg can't move up in the rankings. Westview can't drop. So that's not on the line. Obviously, playoff positioning not on the line because everything's all settled in. So it's pretty much just a postseason tune-up, as we were talking with head coach Troy Thompson about in the pregame show. So it's pretty much just a tune-up here for everybody involved, trying to carry some momentum into the postseason. And for Roseburg, a big opportunity for them here to prove that they can hang with some of the top teams in the state as they take on number 1 ranked Westview. Let's go ahead and take some time now to look around the diamond defensively. That's brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. On the mound today, it's Jay Stoffel starting for the Roseburg Indians, the right-hander, only a sophomore, making his, let's see here, look at the right name, Jay Stoffel making his 6th start of the season. He is 5-1 on the year. He has pitched in 36 innings for Roseburg. Currently has a 1.36 ERA, not too shabby there, 37 strikeouts, 14 walks. And he has given up only 7 earned runs all season. He'll have his hands full today as he takes on the Wildcats. Leading things off will be Evan Williamson as we get things started here. Williamson's will stand in, a right-handed batter. Williamson, a junior, and he takes the first pitch for ball 1, and we are underway in today's contest. A 1-0 delivery here for Williamson. Takes high, a 2-0 count. Jay Stoffel has been on rest for a little while. Got dinged up in a practice before a game and had to be a late scratch. He has missed a number of games, including the doubleheader at North Medford as he fires in a strike on the 2-0. Makes it a 2-1 count. So he's been off a little bit. They're looking to knock the rust off and get him ready for the postseason. He's been awesome on the mound for the Indians this season. His 2-1 delivery to Williamson. Line drive up the middle, and it'll get through right past Stoffel into center field. Leadoff single for Williamson. Stoffel almost got his glove on it, but he almost looked like he pulled back, not wanting to affect the trajectory of the baseball. But his middle infield at second base, Caden Johnson, unable to get to it. I'm not sure if did we run around the diamond? I said I was going to look around the diamond. I'm not sure if I did. I looked at Jay Stoffel, and that's it. We'll get to the rest of the defense here. Jay Stoffel on the mound will check first as Williamson will take his lead. Willie Weiss will take low for ball 1. I think I might have told somebody earlier that it was Weiss. I think it's Willie Weiss. And he takes the first pitch low for a ball 1, a 1-0 count with a man on at first. Breaking ball in for a called strike, evens it up at 1-1. So, yeah, let's look through the defense here for the Roseburg Indians, brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. Behind the plate is Terrell Jacks, the battery mate for the pitcher, as he gets ready for the 1-1 pitch. Another breaking ball, and that's in for strike 2. 1-2 count now here against Weiss. Out at first base, Jonathan Stone, Caden Johnson at second, Cody Johnson at short, and Zach Mandera at third. In the outfield from left to right, Doran Gillespie, Garrett Russell, and Jet Black. Foul pitch. Pitch fouled away. Stays at a 1-2 count here for Weiss, the pitcher for Westview. Weiss already committed for his baseball and his freshman year of college. Senior graduating this year from Westview, has committed to go to Michigan. First-team All-State player last year for the Wildcats. Hits a ground ball towards second. Flip to the bag for 1. Throw to first for 2. And they'll turn it up the middle. 6-4-3 double play. The Indians get 2. And Jay Stoffel now finds himself in a position to get a quick 1-2-3 inning here against the Wildcats. Up next, Ben Brockman, the second baseman. Brockman, another righty at the plate. First pitch from Stoffel. And he'll take for ball 1. Brockman takes the early lead. Stoffel has fallen behind the batters here early on. He's thrown a first pitch ball in each at-bat so far. He challenges with a fastball out towards right field. Jet Black going back. He'll settle underneath it. Looked like the sun got in his eyes right at the last second, but he's able to make the catch for the final out. And thanks to a double play, it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Wildcats. The Indians keep them off the board. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless ball game here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Half an inning in, we go to the bottom of the first inning. The number 11 ranked Roseburg Indians hosting number 1 Westview in a non-conference postseason tune-up. Garrett Russell, Caden Johnson, and Jonathan Stone will lead things off. Let's look around the diamond defensively. Brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union for the Westview Wildcats. Out on the mound, it's Willie Weiss. The senior right-hander will start for the Wildcats. Behind the plate, Carter Sakamoto, Mason Guerrera out at first, Ben Brockman at second, Jacob Cox at short, and Monte Woods is at third. Tyler Anich out in left field, Evan Williamson in center, and Bo Willoughby, again the late start, out in right field, starting for Payson Manning, who rolled his ankle before the game, and they actually took him to the hospital to check out the ankle. Garrett Russell leads things off. First pitch to Russell, low and inside from Weiss, and it is a 1-0 count to lead things off here in the bottom of the first inning. Overcast day here in Roseburg today as the 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, fouled back, evens it up at a 1-1 count. Overcast today, temperatures in the mid-60s right now at start of the game. 66 degrees, probably going to dip down maybe into the 50s by the time we wrap things up. 1-1. Russell bunts it high in the air into foul territory, makes its way all the way to the visiting dugout down the first base side, and he's got 2 strikes against him. So a cool and overcast day for us here for this ball game, although the sun breaking through the clouds back behind us, casting some shadows from the third base side out across the diamond. Russell stands in, batting .320 this season, a 1-2 pitch to him. Check swing, and the umpire will say that's strike 3. Called strike 3 will set down Russell looking. He pulled it back, and it's a punch out. 1 away as Russell goes down looking. Up next is Caden Johnson, the second baseman, hitting with nobody on and 1 away. Johnson stands in, batting .275 this year. First pitch to him is low for ball 1. Willie Weiss, again, a first-team All-State selection last year. He did pitch against Roseburg last year as Johnson gets underneath one out towards left field. Going back is Antich, but that one hangs up in the air long enough that Johnson will not get on as he flies out to left. 2 down. And it'll be Jonathan Stone to hit next. Stone saw his 13-game hitting streak come to an end down at North Medford, went hitless in both games of a doubleheader. He got walked 3 times in game 1 of that doubleheader, had only 2 at-bats where he didn't get walked, so kind of limited his opportunities as that ended his hit streak. He's looking to bounce back here. He takes the first pitch, a fastball inside for ball 1. Stone comes in, still hitting a team best .429. He'll take a strike at the knees over the plate for a 1-1 count. Weiss looking to match the 1-2-3 inning by Jay Stoffel, the 1-1 delivery. Chopper over the mound, charging in the shortstop. Cox will field, throws to first, and it's a 1-2-3 frame for the Westview Wildcats defensively. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the top of the second inning in a scoreless ball game here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer in you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Swimming season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Starting off top of the second inning for...
Top of the second inning, 0-0 ball game. Neither team sending more than 3 hitters to the plate in the first inning. 1 hit on the board so far for Westview as they send the 4, 5, 6 hitters to the plate. Left-handed batting, Monte Woods will stand in. Woods, a senior as well, batting over .400 this season. Has 3 home runs to lead the team in that category. First pitch from Stoffel, breaking ball high and away. A 1-0 count. Roseburg Indians wearing their home whites here today. White tops, white trousers with the stripe down the side. Roseburg across the chest in orange. Numbers on the back in orange as well. Swing and a miss. Took a big cut at a high off-speed pitch there for Woods. And that one up near the eyeballs. He got enticed to that one. A 1-1 count now for him. Out of the windup for Stoffel. That one out towards the gap in left center. It's going to get down for a base knock, and it'll be extras. Rolling all the way to the warning track. Gillespie tracks it down. He'll fire it in towards third as it's a stand-up double for Monte Woods. Leading off the inning for the Wildcats. Scoreless ball game so far, but a man in scoring position for Westview with nobody out. Up next will be Jacob Cox. Nice job there by Gillespie to chase that one down on the warning track. He had to backhand it, slapped at it pretty much, just to keep it from rolling all the way to the fence. And he was able to get it in the glove and fire it back in quickly to hold Woods to just a double. If that gets by him, he might have had a shot at a triple. He stands out at second as Cox stands in. First pitch, swinging. He'll foul it back to the screen for strike one. Woods already committed to Lower Columbia Community College for baseball next year. He's a returning starter from when Roseburg faced Westview last year up at Ron Tonkin Field. The Indians lost that one 11-5. The 0-1 pitch here for Cox. He'll take on the outside corner for a called strike and has an 0-2 count. Jacob Cox, one of the 3 all-star arms on this team for Westview. Stands back in, a senior, infielder, and pitcher. Takes strike 3 as he watches a fastball go by right on the corner. Not sure what he was waiting for there with 2 strikes, and he goes down looking. First strikeout of the game for Jay Stoffel. And a reminder, strikeouts brought to you by Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. One down. Still a man out at second base. 0-0 ball game here in the top of the second. Carter Sakamoto will stand in, the catcher, another senior, returning starter. Takes outside in the dirt. Runner going as the ball gets away from Jacks. He'll hold, will not throw. Mandera there at the bag ready for it, but the ball got away just a bit too far, and a nice read by Monte Woods to take third and get himself 90 feet closer to home. A sacrifice fly now would probably do the trick for Westview. The 1-0 pitch. Check swing pulled back but called for a strike. Evens it up at 1-1 here against Sakamoto. Sakamoto, the 6 hitter in the lineup card. Bats with 1 out and 1 on. Hits a ground ball chopper towards third. It's picked up by Mandera. His only play is to first. He'll make it there, but a run does score. 2 outs. Scoring from third is Monte Woods. And taking a early 1-0 lead, Westview on top. Nice job by Mandera to get to that baseball. Was not an easy one, ranging to his left, covering the gap between short and third. Came up with it and made a nice strong throw across the diamond for the out. 2 down. And nobody on base for Mason Guerrera, who will stand in. The freshman, that's right, a freshman starting on this senior-laden team, takes the first pitch for strike 1. The 0-1, ground ball roller towards short. Johnson up with it across the diamond for the final out. Indians give up 1 hit and a run. No errors and nobody left on base. It's a 1-0 lead for Westview as we head to the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
One nothing score. Westview in front of Roseburg as we begin the second inning. Taking a look at our Garrettson Building Supply scoreboard update. Checking the scoreboard just beyond the left field fence. Roseburg softball in action today, hosting Sprague in a very similar matchup. 2 playoff teams just getting a tune-up in before the playoffs begin next week. Roseburg softball doing well, though. They're on top 4-0 in the second inning in that game against Sprague, and it looks like that's the top of the second inning over there. Brody Black leads things off in the bottom of the second here. He'll take the first pitch from Willie Weiss for strike 1. Weiss did pitch against Roseburg when the two teams met to start the season last year. It was a season opener for both teams as he fires the 0-1 outside in the dirt for a 1-1 count. Weiss went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, only 2 earned, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. He started out the game with quite a few strikeouts against the Roseburg Indians in that one. 1-1 pitch coming up. Weiss out of the windup delivers. Brody will hit it right side. Second baseman knocks it down from his rear end to throw to first from the outfield grass. The ball was dropped, but it was on the transition. Nice play out there by Ben Brockman, sliding in the outfield grass from his backside. Makes the throw to first in the outfield grass for the out. That's not one you're going to see every day. 1 down. Nobody on base. Zach Mandera stands in. First pitch takes strike 1. Mandera comes in today, batting .254 for the Indians. Swings and misses at a breaking ball for strike 2. Willie Weiss, 1 strikeout so far, had the 8th the first time the two teams met. He struck out 5 through the first 2 innings the last time the two teams played as a pitch just misses. Not sure about that one. The catcher, Sakamoto, ready to throw down to first. Had to pull it back. His strike call was not there. 1-2 pitch coming up for Mandera with 1 out. He takes inside, and it'll move to 2-2. In fact, Weiss struck out 8 of the first 9 outs as a swing and foul tip will keep Zach alive at the plate with a 2-2 count. 7 of the first 9 outs were strikeouts for Willie Weiss when Roseburg and Westview squared off to start the season last year. That's pretty impressive. 2-2 pitch for him here. That's strike 3 right down the middle. Mandera watches that one go by. Another one, much like what we saw for Jacob Cox in the top of the second inning for Westview. Watched a pitch go right down the middle with 2 strikes. Not sure what they're looking for in that situation. So Mandera goes down looking. Second strikeout of the game for Weiss, and he will get a first pitch called strike against Cody Johnson, who bats with 2 outs and nobody on base. Roseburg trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball outside, goes to a 1-1 count. Cody Johnson, the senior shortstop, batting .349 for Roseburg. He pulled that one, tried to pull that one back, but he went all the way around on that one, almost. Not quite all the way around. But he did go around far enough for the call or for the swing and a miss. In the dirt, a 2-2 count now for Johnson. Was a little taken aback there, batting .349. That's a pretty good number for him. Been a much better season at the plate this year than his junior season. Has 18 RBI, looking to get on base and get something started for Roseburg. The 2-2, breaking ball, and it misses inside to go to a full count. Johnson was pretty sure of himself that that was ball 3. The umpire didn't move. Everybody on the infield was already a step or 2 towards the visiting dugout. 3-2, Johnson takes strike 3 inside corner, and the Indians strike out, watching a couple of times a strike 2 pitch go by at the knees, as they will round things out. A 1-2-3 inning once again for Willie Weiss. It's still a 1-0 lead for Westview as Jay Stoffel heads back out for the top of the third inning for Roseburg. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Head to the top of the third. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Starting out the top of the third inning for Westview, number 20, Tyler Antich.
Top of the third inning, 8-9-1 due up for Westview. Tyler Antich will step in, his team leading 1-0. First pitch from Jay Stoffel. It's off the hands, fouled back for strike 1. Stoffel so far has given up a hit in each inning, only the 1 run. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside for a 1-1 count. It has been a very nice season for Jay Stoffel this year. The sophomore has worked his way into a very valuable number 3 starter for the Indians. There's a 1-1 delivery. Low will go to a 2-1 count. 5-1 on the year, a sub-2 ERA. In fact, you may say he's been Roseburg's best pitcher, as he's got the best ERA and one of the better records, as he gets a strike at the bottom of the zone for a 2-2 count. Zach Mandera, don't get me wrong, the Indians have had some good pitchers this season, so they're all pretty good. As a strikeout on a breaking ball, watched it go by. Tyler Antich goes down looking. Another strikeout for Jay Stoffel. His second of the game. And there is 1 down here in the top of the third inning. Bo Willoughby getting the late start. He'll take a fastball low and away for ball 1. Willoughby starting for Payson Manning, who rolled his ankle pregame and had to be taken to the hospital. Swing and a miss for Willoughby, playing in the 9 spot here. He's got a 1-1 count. Takes a strike on the outside corner with the fastball from Stoffel. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mandera 6-2 on the season with 1 save. Stoffel 5-1. So obviously the better record as a pitch misses outside, 2-2. Better record goes to Mandera, but Stoffel, the only guy on the team with a sub-2 ERA. He does not have as many strikeouts as either Cody or Zach do on the mound, but he does put up a pretty good number there as well. Misses low. It's a full count now for the 9-hitter Bo Willoughby. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the corner. Back-to-back strikeouts looking. 3 in the game now for Stoffel. And after a bit of a layoff for him, he is looking pretty sharp out on the mound so far against the Wildcats. 2 down, we go back to the top of the lineup. Evan Williamson, he led off the game with a single to right field. First pitch, a breaking ball called for a strike. And the umpire seems to be liking that strike call. The 0-1 delivery to Williamson. Another breaking ball, same spot, called for a strike again, 0-2. That one a little bit, that one looked a little closer to a strike than what I thought the first one did. 0-2 pitch now. They go back to the outside corner, but it just misses off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Out of the windup, Stoffel looking for a 1-2-3 into the air out towards center. Russell coming in, now settles. He'll camp underneath it for the final out. A 1-2-3 frame for Jay Stoffel. A nice response after giving up the lead in the second inning. Strikes out the first 2 hitters, gets a pop out to round it out. And the Indians will head to the bottom of the third, trailing 1-0 against Westview here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
After 2 innings of work, we have already gotten our first Shelby and Migulena call to the pen. Shelby and Migulena Construction are bullpen sponsors. Your local leaders for any project, big or small, 30 years of quality, affordable work. Call Shelby and Migulena or visit their website, webuildhouses.com. Willie Weiss figured it might be a short day for him with all these teams just making sure they're ready for the postseason. Weiss will move to shortstop as he comes off, and Ben Brockman will take over on the mound. Brockman, first pitch, as he faces Doran Gillespie, is in for a called strike 1. So new man on the mound. Willie Weiss goes 2 innings. It was 2 perfect innings for him. Chop foul for Gillespie will give him strike 2. Weiss 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Pretty good outing for him there. Did not throw too many pitches. I might be able to get you that number here in a second. The 0-2 for Gillespie outside in the dirt for ball 1. Brockman, supposedly the number 2 arm for this Westview team. He'll look to ramp up the at-bat here against Doran Gillespie, the 7-hitter in the lineup for the Indians. The 1-2 in the dirt goes to a 2-2 count. Brockman was at second. He moves to the mound. Willie Weiss goes to shortstop, and Jacob Cox, who was at short, moves to second base. 2-2 count. The throw in from Brockman. Inside, he didn't get the snap on the breaking ball he was looking for there. And he's got a 3-2 count. Three balls, 2 strikes. Gillespie, full count pitch. Gets underneath it out towards left field. Well hit. Antich going back. Can't find it. Out to the wall. That one's gone! A solo home run for Doran Gillespie, his first of the season, and he'll tie the game up here in the bottom of the third. The sophomore gets mugged as he crosses home plate. Coach Thompson says, hey, let's get back to the dugout. Act like we've been there before. 1-1 ball game on the round tripper by Doran Gillespie. 3-2 count, and he takes him deep. First hit of the game for the Indians, and it breaks the shutout as well. 1-1 ball game, and now Terrell Jacks will stand in trying to follow that up. First player not named Jonathan Stone to hit a home run for the Roseburg Indians this season. 1-0 count at the plate for Terrell. Stone with 2 home runs this year was the only guy to hit one out for the Indians. Now Gillespie getting his first of his varsity career. 2-0 count for Terrell as he takes another pitch inside. The Indians tie the game up 1-1 here in the bottom of the third. The 2-0 pitch, Terrell takes low and inside for a 3-0 count. Mentioned Brockman, number 2 guy on the mound for Westview. Comes in with 5 wins on the year and a 1.81 ERA. That's taken a bit of a jump now. He'll fire a 3-0 down the middle for a called strike against Terrell. Terrell will foul one off to stay at the plate. 3-2 count. That one had Tyler Antich all sorts of twisted up out in left field trying to track down that home run ball there by Gillespie. He ran out of room as that one clears. Another foul ball for Terrell. And he stays with a 3-2 count. Willie Weiss, the 2 innings pitched, he had 24 pitches in that, so no pitch count limitations for him. Ball in the air down the first base side for Terrell will be caught by first baseman Mason Guerrera. 1 away. Pop out to first for Terrell.
Next batter, number 18, Jet Black.
Jet Black will stand in. 1 down, nobody on. A tie ball game at 1 apiece. Hitting in the 9 spot this season, Jet swings at the first pitch, hit out to center field, and he'll fly out for out number 2. I was going to tell you, Jet batting .317 this year out of the 9 hole. But he flies out in just 1 pitch. The Indians will send it back to the top of the lineup now. Garrett Russell will stand in. Russell 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the first against Willie Weiss. He'll take high and inside for ball 1. Not sure if Roseburg will look to make changes quickly on the mound as Russell puts this one out towards right center, and it will fall in. Williamson got close to it, a little closer than I expected him to be, and I thought maybe he might give it a go to try and catch that one with a dive, but he does not. Takes it on the 1 hop, falls in. 2 hits here in this 3rd inning for the Roseburg Indians. After going hitless through the first 2 innings, they now have 2 to even up what Westview has as well. 2 hits for both teams, 1 run in so far for both sides as well. Caden Johnson looking to break out of a bit of a slump. He'll take the first pitch for ball 1. Johnson, I believe, he did get a hit in the doubleheader against North Medford, but he struggled a bit as a pitch in the dirt will take him to a 2-0 count. Russell out at first. Johnson finally got a hit in game 2 in the 5th inning. Drove in a run as well, but he was 0 for 5 in game 1 of that doubleheader against North Medford. So had a tough day, but finally broke through. Looking for him to get something going here in the 3rd inning for himself after flying out to left field his first time up. 0 for 1 in this ball game. Russell got back in ahead of a toss over to first by Brockman. Ben Brockman on in relief for Westview. The 2-0 pitch, high and inside for a 3-0 count. The thing I'll be interesting to see play out in this game is, do the teams play for the win more than just playing for getting guys a chance to get out and play? The 3-0 pitch from Brockman catches the edge for strike 1. Obviously, Westview looking to get their top arms a chance to throw a little bit here. Weiss is, of course, their number 1, and he'll probably be set up to try and pitch on Monday in their first-round playoff game. Jay Stoffel, meanwhile, for Roseburg, not likely going to be pitching game 1 of the postseason for Roseburg as Johnson puts one to right field, charging in, diving attempt, and it's caught by Bo Willoughby in right field, robbing a base hit from Caden Johnson with a diving grab in right field. The Indians tied up, though, here in the bottom of the 3rd. They get 1 run on a solo home run over the left field fence by Doran Gillespie. 1 man left on base. No errors for Westview. 1-1 ball game as we head to the top of the 4th. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer in you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Swimming season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyze and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
It's a whole new ball game here as we begin the top of the fourth inning, 1-1 contest.
Off the top of the fourth inning for Westview, number 7.
Roseburg and Westview squaring off. Number 1 ranked Westview. Even if Westview does try to mix and match a little bit here today and Roseburg pulls off a win, that's a big one going into the postseason. Pitch outside from Jay Stoffel, who remains on the mound, 1-0 count. Talking about it there in that last half inning about whether or not the teams will play for a win, or I'm sure they will, but how much do they push it? As a pitch hit high in the air for the leadoff man, Willie Weiss. This one back behind first, caught by Jonathan Stone, and Weiss has grounded into a double play and now popped out on the infield. Tough day for him so far, 1 away. Willie Weiss, last time these two teams met, had a triple in the game. Back to start out last year, the 2017 campaign. Scored 3 runs in that game and had a walk. So far, 0 for 2 for him. 1 out, 3-hitter Ben Brockman. Now the pitcher will stand in. First pitch swinging in the air out towards left center. Underneath it, Garrett Russell will make the catch for out number 2. I expect that Westview don't want to see their 16-game winning streak come to an end here in Roseburg.
Next batter, number 15, Monte Woods.
As Monte Woods will stand in, the third baseman, left-handed batter. So they'll play to try and win this one, but do they keep a guy out there on the mound a little longer than they might have intended if it's a close game still? As a first pitch breaking ball in for a called strike against Woods, who is 1 for 1 in the ball game with a double back in the second. He scored the 1 run so far on the board for Westview. 0-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner, called for an 0-2 count now. And I was going to say that Jay Stoffel, he might get a chance to go a little longer. He hasn't pitched in a while, and he's not going to be the Game 1 starter in the playoffs for the Indians, so they might let him run this one out. The 0-2 pitch just outside. It'll go to a 1-2 count against Woods. Be good experience here for Stoffel, facing facing currently the number 1 ranked team in the state. See how he can do. 1-2 pitch is in the dirt, and it'll even things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For a young man like Jace, just a sophomore, to get a chance to see if he can hold his own against the top team in the state, that has to be a big confidence booster going into the postseason. 2-2 delivery from Stoffel. Outside and low, and it goes full. 2 outs, nobody on base here in the top of the fourth inning, a 1-1 ball game. 3-2 pitch from Stoffel. It's away, and it'll be a walk. So after getting ahead in the at-bat, Stoffel will walk the cleanup hitter with 2 outs. Last time on base, Monte Woods scored for Westview. We'll see if Stoffel can avoid doing that here in the fourth. With 2 outs, Jacob Cox will stand in. He struck out looking his last time up. Coach Richie Charles headed out to the mound to have a quick conversation with Stoffel and Terrell Jacks. Why don't we go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. Standing in the bat, Jacob Cox struck out looking in the second. It's a 1-1 ball game here in the top of the fourth inning. Man on at first. The first pitch to Cox is in for a called strike one. Stoffel looking to not let the 2-out walk hurt him here as he'll pitch outside. Misses for a 1-1 count. Last time on base, Monte Woods had the double to get him into scoring position. He took third on a wild pitch, so we know he's an alert and astute base runner. He's going here. Pitch in. Called strike. Throw down to second is high. Stolen base for Woods at the plate. It's a 1-2 count for Jacob Cox. Called strike by the umpire. Stoffel looking to finish it off here and leave the man stranded at second. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball chopper into foul territory, first base side. Stays 1-2 against Cox. One ball, two strikes. Stoffel checks second, delivers in, and it's low for a 2-2 count. Jacob Cox, he's the number 3 arm on the mound for Westview. May see him in a couple of innings. He has 7 wins this season, 5 complete game victories. As he goes on a check swing, goes around, throw down to first, and there's your final out. Pair of strikeouts for Jacob Cox. And Jay Stoffel will keep it a 1-1 ball game. As Westview goes down in the top of the fourth, no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. It's a tied game as we head to the bottom of the fourth here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Bottom of the fourth inning, tie ball game. 1-1 score. Ben Brockman out for his second inning of work. So far, Willie Weiss pitched 2 innings. Brockman now into his second inning working against the Indians. Brockman gave up the lead. In fact, gave up the first hits of the game for the Indians. I mistakenly said when we closed out the third inning that Roseburg got 1 run on 1 hit. It was actually 1 run on 2 hits, but the run does come in on the solo home run by Doran Gillespie as he led off the third inning. A 3-2 full count pitch. He took over the left field fence for his first home run of the season. The only other man on the Roseburg roster with a home run this season will step in to hit. Jonathan Stone leads off the fourth inning for Roseburg. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Stone grounded out to shortstop in the first inning when the Indians went down 1-2-3 against Willie Weiss, the starter. He takes a strike for a 1-1 count. Stone has, based on his standards, slumped a little bit in the last couple of games as he'll take low for a 2-1 count. I mean, you're still hitting over 400. You can't say things are going all that bad for you, but going hitless in a doubleheader didn't help him out. 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. And he's got a 2-2 count. Not the time of year when you want to be having some issues at the plate. Want to be trying to find your best groove here going into the playoffs. Swing and a foul tip for Stone. And he'll stay alive with the 2-2 count. Seemed to be out leaning a little bit there on that breaking ball from Brockman. Stone back in, the 2-2 pitch, outside and low. It'll go to a full count. Roseburg baseball this afternoon here on The Score, brought to you by Clint Newell Auto Groups. Line drive shot. It gets into left field, and Stone will pick up the base knock. And he gets a new hit streak started. Nice to see him just over the top of Willie Weiss at shortstop. Sneaks that past him into left field for a base knock. A leadoff single for the Indians. And back-to-back innings against Ben Brockman. The Indians have gotten the leadoff man on. Doran Gillespie led off the third but didn't stay on base very long as he came all the way around to score on the home run. Line drive shot to left. One man on, nobody out. Brody Black will hit. He grounded out to second on a nice play by Brockman, who's now on the mound. Pitch, a breaking ball. It was in for a called strike. And quickly up out of his stance was Sakamoto behind the plate. Wanted to throw down to first, but he lost a handle on the baseball. Kind of surprised that one's called for a strike with how misplayed it was behind the plate. 0-1 count to Brody. Swings, gets underneath it, high out towards center field, but it won't make it there. On the infield dirt, the second baseman, Jacob Cox, will make the catch. One out.
Next batter, number 13, Zach Mandera.
Still at first base is Jonathan Stone. Zach Mandera will stand in. One away, one on. Tie ball game. Roseburg looking to try and get the lead if they can. First pitch, a called strike against Zach. Zach 0 for 1 in the game, struck out looking in the second inning. Swings and he hits it off the end of the bat toward short. Weiss will get it there, throws into second, no throw to first. So they only get the front end of the double play, cannot get the back end. Fielder's choice will get Mandera on at first, 2 down. 6-4 the put out for Jonathan Stone as he's forced at second. 2 away. And up to hit will be Cody Johnson, who struck out looking back in the second as well. First pitch, check swing, but it's called for a strike. Oh, 1 delivery for Cody. Hits it back up the middle. Brockman with the glove. He stops it on the mound on the short hop. He just was looking for a present, and he got it. Was just trying to see if he could knock it down. The runner was going. That might add a chance to get through up the middle. And the Indians will leave a man stranded on at first. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, no runs on 1 hit. No Westview errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the 5th inning. Still a 1-1 ball game. It's a pitcher's duel here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490, The Score.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
It'll be number 5, Carter Sakamoto.
Oh, we've been informed that I just mistook the numbers. That was actually Jacob Cox on the mound there in the bottom of the 4th for Westview. It'll be Carter Sakamoto to lead things off here in the top of the 5th for Westview. 1-1 ball game. On the mound still Jay Stoffel throwing for Roseburg. Pitch fouled back. It'll be an 0-2 count now against Sakamoto. Don't know what the defensive switching went along there. I think Brockman might have gone back to second, and Cox went to the mound. This pitch just misses outside. It goes to a 1-2 count here for Sakamoto. I paid attention. I saw the number. I just didn't put the two together when I was reporting there in the bottom of the fourth. Chopper towards short for Sakamoto, and he's thrown out at first. Cody Johnson making the play across the diamond. One away. On the chopper to short. Jay Stoffel has
number 9, Mason Guerrera.
Done a nice job here after giving up a hit in each of the first 2 innings and a run. He's been calming down and settling in. First pitch, a breaking ball called strike here against Mason Guerrera. The first baseman, 0 for 1 in the game. Breaking ball called for strike 2. Oh, 2 count, nobody on, 1 away. Strike 3 called. He goes down looking. Another strikeout for Jay Stoffel. Strikeouts brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Strikeout number 5 on the day for Stoffel, and he's got 2 down. He'll face Tyler Antich, who struck out looking back in the third. First pitch swinging. This one fouled up and out of play. The 0-1 delivery for Stoffel. In the air and out of play again for strike 2. So a couple of balls fouled over the first base side and out of play for Antich. He's behind in the count and been behind in the at-bat. Breaking ball low. He'll have a 1-2 count. Couldn't get him to chase there for Stoffel. The 1-2 pitch, swung and missed at a high fastball. Antich will go down swinging for a second time in the ballgame. That is 6 strikeouts now for Jay Stoffel. He is shutting down one of the top teams in the state, one of the top offenses in the state. And through the 4.5, it's still a 1-1 ballgame as we head to the bottom of the 5th here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490, The Score.
For Westview, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no...
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Well, Westview is really going to use about everybody they have in the bullpen, apparently. It's another new pitcher, 4th on the day. It's Evan Williamson that'll get a chance on the mound. Taking a look, trying to figure out where everybody's been going to in this one. Still Woods there at third. It's still Weiss at short. Williamson comes out of center field, and taking over for him in center will be Tyler Antich. Antich moving from left field to center. Out in left field,
bottom of the 5th inning now for the Indians. It'll be
you've got Bo Willoughby, who moves from right field to left. So that means in right field, you've got the guy that was just on the mound, Jacob Cox has gone to right field. First pitch swinging against Williamson. It's a high chopper over the mound. Throw to first from second. Just got Gillespie in time. He wanted a safe call, did not get it. He chops that one up the middle on the first pitch he sees from Evan Williamson. And there's out number 1.
Next batter, number 10, Terrell Jacks.
So Cox is out in right field. It is Brockman at second base. That's where he started before his 1 inning of work on the mound. So I think we got it all figured out here. As the first pitch to Terrell Jacks is in for a called strike. The 0-1 pitch outside in the dirt for a 1-1 count. One delivery from Williamson. High and away, goes to a 2-1 count for Terrell. Williamson, a junior. Fires and misses outside. Three-one count now for Terrell. 1 out, nobody on. Swings and misses for strike 2. Full count coming up. The pitch from Williamson in the dirt for ball 4. And Terrell will draw a walk. That is the first walk issued by a Westview pitcher. Roseburg, only 1 walk issued by Jay Stoffel so far. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts for him. On the other side, 3 strikeouts in the game. They all went to Willie Weiss for Westview, but other than that, all of his relievers since then have not recorded a strikeout of the Indians. 1 on, 1 out. First pitch in the dirt for Jet Black. Staying at first base. Indians bring in a courtesy runner out there at first. That is Luke Van Norman running for Terrell. Pitch misses outside in the dirt here against Jet. He's got a 2-0 count. Jet will take a strike on the outside corner. Takes him to a 2-1 count. Jet flew out to center field on the first pitch he saw back in the 3rd inning. That was against Bo Brockman. 4 pitchers used so far by Westview. We'll see who gets a chance to pitch the longest. So far it's been Willie Weiss who was the starter. Ben Brockman, Jacob Cox also getting chances. Hit and run on. Up to second goes Van Norman. That ball gets into right field. It's going to roll across the foul line up to third. They're going to hold Van Norman around third as he comes back to the bag and is in safely. Hit and run at the perfect time. Van Norman gets all the way to third, and it's a base knock for Jet Black into shallow right field. He gets a single. That's the 4th hit of the ball game for the Roseburg Indians, and they've got runners on the corners with 1 away, looking to take the lead here against Westview. 1-1 ball game. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Evan Williamson on the mound. First pitch now for Garrett Russell, squaring to bunt. He'll push it first base side. They're going to make the play to the plate. And tagged out at the dish. The bunt was just a little bit too hard from Garrett there. Easily fielded off the mound by Williamson. He went to the plate, and Luke Van Norman was out by a mile. Not sure if he got the best read on it either, but the bunt a little bit too hard. Needed to push it, or not hard enough. And not in the right direction. Wanted to push it just a little bit further towards second base. So the Indians now have runners at first and second with 2 out after the fielder's choice for Garrett. Time called is stepping off the rubber. Williamson will reset. First pitch to Caden Johnson outside on a breaking ball. The 1-0 for Caden. Swings at a pitch high. That one's up in the air. Could be playable. Sakamoto makes the late adjustment to get to it. He didn't know it was playable at first. Had to get around the umpire, and he did so just in time to get to that baseball, as Caden Johnson will foul out for out number 3. The Indians start out nicely. Get runners on the corners with just one away. Can't bring anybody in. It remains a 1-1 ball game as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Cruising through things here. Roseburg and Westview on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer in you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Swimming season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Low-scoring affair here from Legion Field this afternoon. Still overcast here in Roseburg. But we've avoided, I think, any sort of substantial precipitation throughout the day today.
Number 2, Bo Willoughby.
Roseburg in a tie ball game, 1-1 against Westview. Jay Stoffel's day is done. Zach Mandera will take over on the mound, and Mandera's first pitch outside for ball 1 against Bo Willoughby. Stands in 0 for 1 in the ball game. Stoffel will move to third base as Mandera takes over on the mound. The 1-0 delivery from Zach. Bunt back to the mound, caught in the air. Willoughby will be out for a second time in the ball game. First time struck out, this time a pop-up back to the mound for out number 1. First pitch swinging for the top of the lineup here, Evan Williamson, now the pitcher in the ball game for Westview. He fouls off the first pitch. Zach Mandera misses just a bit upstairs. It goes to a 1-1 count. Mandera mentioned some of his numbers earlier. Comes in 6-2 on the season. So he gets a strike on the outside corner. Watching it go by, Williamson now trailing 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the at-bat. Mandera 6-2 on the year, has 1 save as well, a 2.73 ERA as he misses just a bit upstairs and inside. 2-2 count. Zach leads the team with 54 strikeouts on the mound, just 16 walks. He has given up 16 earned runs as he misses, and it'll go to a full count now against the leadoff hitter, Evan Williamson, who is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Jay Stoffel will get you his final line here in a moment. 1 out, nobody on. A full count pitch from Mandera. Strike 3 called. It's another good vibration strikeout for the Roseburg pitching staff. Number 7 of the day, but the first for Zach Mandera. 2 down, and up next will be Willie Weiss. The senior now playing at shortstop. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Popped out to first his last time. Also hit into a double play back in the first inning. First pitch to him, a breaking ball, and he takes for strike 1. Trying to time it up, it looked like a little bit there. And he's behind 0-1. Stoffel, 5 innings worked, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts for him as a pitch outside evens it up. 1-1 against Weiss. Real good day there for Jay Stoffel. He will leave the game, though, and will not factor into the decision as it's tied 1-1. Ball into the air out towards center on the run. Russell looks like he's got time to get underneath it. He will. Just in front of the warning track. Tracks it down. A 1-2-3 inning for Zach Mandera, and it's still a tie ball game. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base, no Roseburg errors in that half inning. Through 5.5 innings, we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 1-1 ball game. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Bottom of the 6th inning, still a 1-1 ball game. This one been moving along quickly, but another Shelby and Migulena construction call to the pin for Westview. It'll be Mason Guerrera who will take over on the mound for Westview. Means Evan Williamson had 1 inning of work. They're getting everybody a chance. Taking over at first base.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th.
That'll be Antich, Trevor Antich, who will move in from center field. And I'm sure Williamson will probably head out back to center field where he started the game. Yep, he is. Time call before the first pitch. Jonathan Stone leading things off. Second time in the game that he will be the first batter against a new pitcher. Last time it was against Jacob Cox. First pitch to him. It's a called strike. Oh, 1 count for Stone. Had a base hit his last time up. Breaking ball he takes outside for a 1-1. Had a line drive just over the top of the shortstop. Willie Weiss out into left field his last time at the plate. Mason Guerrero, right-hander, out of the windup. He's just a freshman. He'll get Stone to foul one away down the third base side for strike 2. Roseburg does have a couple of guys thrown in the bullpen at the moment. Out of the windup, the 1-2 to Stone. He fouls it off. No, drop third, strike. Sakamoto's throw down to first. And the Roseburg fans almost wanting to say that first baseman Trevor Antich pulled his foot off the bag before he got the ball. So there's 1 down on the strikeout.
Next batter, number 20,
1 down. And up next will be Brody Black, the DH, looking for his first hit of the game. First pitch from Guerrera is on the inside corner for a strike. The 0-1 delivery for Black. Misses off the outside edge. Evens things up, 1-1 count against Brody. Guerrera's fastball taken right back out towards right center. That'll hook quite a bit there out towards right field. Coming in to get it will be Jacob Cox in right field. First hit of the day for Brody Black. So he gets on base for Roseburg. That's their 5th hit of the ball game. 1 on, 1 out.
Zach Bandera.
Nice line drive shot there from Brody. That one had some get up and go on it. Runner will come in for the DH. That is Luke Lucido, who will likely enter the game.
First, number 8, Luke Lucido.
Get a chance to get maybe an at-bat or two. We'll have to wait and see what they do there. Would like to see him ready to come in a pinch spot in the playoffs to try and get a hit or get himself ready to go for the postseason. First pitch now for Zach Mandera, who's now the pitcher for the Indians. He'll take strike 1. 1 out with a man on for the Indians as they look to try and threaten once again in a 1-1 ball game against Westview. The 0-1 swing and foul tipped for strike 2 for Mandera. Zach is 0 for 2 in this game. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Oh, 2 delivery coming up for Zach. Guerrero will fire in. It's low and inside. It gets by the catcher. Up to second base will go Lucido. Wild pitch down in the dirt. Gets through the legs of the catcher and the umpire. And it's a 1-2 count with a man at second base now for the Roseburg Indians. Mandera, the 1-2 pitch. They backpick to second just ahead of the tag. Nice pickoff move there by Westview. Lucido was caught off guard, just barely gets back in time. Mandera at the dish with 2 strikes against him. The 1-2 coming up. Mason Guerrera, the freshman, batting over 400 this season. He's had a nice freshman campaign. He's on the mound. Pitch, breaking ball outside, pops out of the glove. That is not Sakamoto, I don't believe, back behind the plate. I believe that is a new man behind the plate, which would be Chase Meyer back behind the dish. The 2-2 outside. Meyer will knock that one down. So some changes going on all around for Westview here. They've got the new catcher back behind the plate. Pitch is low for Mandera, and he'll take ball 4. First and second now with Mandera being the pitcher. He'll get a courtesy runner. It's Mason Littlefield that'll come out to run for
Running
him.
at first base will be Mason Littlefield. The batter, number 9, Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson stands in with 1 out, 2 on, facing Mason Guerrera here in the bottom of the 6th. I think I might be answering my own question here a little bit. How serious is Westview taking this one? I'm sure they are trying to win. Is the first pitch in the dirt against Cody. They're trying to win for sure, but they are not going to let the score dictate how they're going to play this one, getting guys opportunities to get in the game and get some at-bats before the playoffs. There's a breaking ball high for a 2-0 count against Cody, and get some guys some work before the playoffs out on the rubber. I believe Cody was warming up in the bullpen for Roseburg, so he may get a chance to pitch here soon. 7th inning coming up in a tie ball game, 1-1. Roseburg looking for the lead. Swing and a miss out of Cody for strike 1. Johnson had a nice day on the mound his last time out. It was the second game of the doubleheader against North Medford on Saturday. The Indians came back to win that one, and Johnson shut it down, striking out the side in the 7th. As a back pick down to second base, the throw from the pitcher Guerrera not in time. 2 balls, 1 strike against Cody Johnson. He struck out the final 3 batters for North Medford to win that game on Saturday. That was pretty impressive for him, pitching the complete game victory. 2-1 in the dirt. Everybody holds. Goes to a 3-1 count. Cody 0 for 2 in this ball game. Strikeout looking in the second against Willie Weiss. And then a ground out back to the mound on a hard ground ball back to the mound in the fourth against Jacob Cox. Mason Guerrera, the fifth pitcher used for Westview in this contest. Roseburg has only used 2 so far. Zach Mandera pitching in the sixth to relieve Jay Stoffel, who threw 5 innings. 3-1 pitch in the dirt, ball 4. Runners will move up. The ball did get away from Meyer. There we get it right. I was told that he'll be upset if I don't get it right. So Chase Meyer has to find that one at the backstop before anybody decides to try and take an extra base. Bases juiced after the walk. Just 1 out. Luke Lucido at third. Mason Littlefield at second. Cody Johnson on at first. And now a visit to the mound for the Westview coaching staff here. Well, folks, taking a look at what's coming up, although I think they've gone final over there. 6-0 your final score. Roseburg softball winning against Sprague today. As we take a look at your Garrettson Building Supply scoreboard update there real quick. Scores I have to report to you. Roseburg softball winning 6-0 against Sprague. And the JV game going on, Roseburg JV baseball here. They were leading 2-0 through 4 innings in their contest. A couple of scores there for you. But what's coming up in the playoffs? Roseburg softball will be hosting Roosevelt on Monday over there at the softball field. That'll be going on around the same time as the baseball game. Roseburg baseball hosting Sherwood, both on Monday. Tomorrow it's the start of tennis and track and field state championships. The Roseburg boys and girls tennis teams have some representatives attending. And track and field, Roseburg track and field won't start until Friday, but things do get started tomorrow with the 3A, 2A, and 1A. Bases loaded, 1 out at the plate. It's Doran Gillespie who will take the first pitch at the knees for a strike. Gillespie with the solo home run back in the third inning to give Roseburg their only run of the game. He'll take a breaking ball high for a 1-1 count here from Mason Guerrera. Want to recognize Garrettson Building Supply, offering a wide range of high-quality lumber, plywood, and building-related materials. Garrettson Building Supply supporting our Douglas County community for over 90 years. Pitch outside goes to a 2-1 count now for Gillespie. Doran 1 for 2 in the ball game. Out of the windup for Guerrera, bases loaded, the 2-1. In the dirt, gets by, breaking for the plate comes Lucido. And the run will come in. Everybody else up 90 feet. Lucido scores on the wild pitch. And Roseburg takes a 2-1 lead against the number 1 team in the state, Westview. Mason Guerrera falls behind. He's trailing 3-1 in the count. The 3-1 is taken for strike 2. (3-2). Full count now for Doran. Swings and fouls it back. So full count with 1 away and runners at second and third. Already 1 run in. Roseburg leading 2-1. Gillespie a swing and a miss. Big punch out there for Mason Guerrera. Second out of the frame. And now it'll be up to Terrell Jacks to try and see if he can bring in a little bit more insurance for the Indians. Second strikeout of the game for Mason Guerrera. Swing and a miss. A big cut there by Terrell for strike 1. Guerrera, as a hitter, batting over 400, has 2 home runs. As a pitcher, I'm not sure how much work he's seen, as he'll fire one in, and it's down the right field side and foul for strike 2 against Terrell. They've got 3 quality arms that it looks like they have ridden quite a bit I mean, Jacob Cox, who's now in right field but did throw an inning, has 5 complete games this season. Was looking at some of their pitch count totals, and they got guys throwing a lot of pitches. 0-2 pitch against Terrell is well outside. A 1-2 count now for him. Out at second base is Cody Johnson. At third base, Mason Littlefield running for Zach Mandera. A 1-2 delivery from Guerrera. Breaking ball, swing and a miss for strike 3. That'll wrap up things, and Guerrera actually strikes out the side. But he gave up a single and 2 walks, and then a wild pitch allows a run to come in. And Roseburg will get 1 on 1 hit. No Westview errors, and 2 men left on base. 3 outs away from picking up a win against the number 1 team in the state. It could be a big one here for the Indians. We'll come back with the top of the 7th after this here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
For a second game in a row against North Medford on Saturday and now against Westview here today, Cody Johnson will try to get a clean 7th inning to try and win a game for the Roseburg Indians. 2-1 your scores. We start the top of the 7th inning. The 7th inning is brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? First pitch from Johnson is high and inside for ball 1. Cody Johnson takes over on the mound for Zach Mandera, who pitched 1 inning. Out of the windup, a 1-0 for Johnson. Line drive shot, and it gets fair in down the third base line. Leading things off, Ben Brockman will get extra bases. He's into second. The throw back in will hold him at second base. He gets a double just behind third base. And out into the left field, deep down there behind the bullpen for a leadoff double against Cody Johnson. That one just found the perfect spot to go. So Brockman gets on. Monte Woods will stand in, the third baseman. He is 1 for 1 in the game with a double and a walk. Game tying run now out at second base with nobody out. Johnson's first pitch. Fastball in for a called strike. So the defensive changes. Mandera goes back to third base. Caden Johnson moves from second to short, and in at second base is Luke Van Norman. The 0-1 pulled towards Norman. At second, he'll field it on a couple of hops, throws to first for the out. The runner up to third base now. Woods hits that hard, and he pulls it to the opposite side of the field. I guess pulling it to his pull side. He is a left-handed batter. He pulls it to the second base side, and that moves the runner up 90 feet. So now the tying run 90 feet from home with 1 out. Up to bat is Jacob Cox. First pitch, a called strike. Strikeout would be huge here for Cody. Get that second out and not allow the sacrifice opportunity. The 0-1 delivery coming up. Just outside for a 1-1 count. Cox has struck out twice. He struck out looking in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth. We're here in the 7th inning. It's a 2-1 lead. Roseburg in front. Ben Brockman at third, the tying run. 1-1 is lifted out towards right field. Jet Black underneath it. He'll catch, throws in, and his throw is not going to be in time, and we got a tie ball game. Sack fly for Jacob Cox. 2 down. And we're all squared away at 2, and the Indians will hit here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch outside, goes all the way to the backstop. Good thing nobody on base. New batter in. It'll be Josh Moreno. Gets a chance to hit. Batting in the spot of Carter Sakamoto, who had come out of the game defensively. 1-1 count now. With 2 away, 1-1 here against Moreno. Moreno will take outside. Left-handed batter. The 2-1 pitch. He swings and fouls it back. Evens things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Josh Moreno, excuse me. Nobody on base with 2 down. Swings and hits this one high in the air out towards right center. That looks like it might have a chance to get down. It will. He's got extra bases. He's quick around the bases. He's into second, and he'll pull up there. A 2-out double for Moreno. And that'll be the go-ahead run in scoring position. Standing in next will be Mason Guerrera, the freshman, now the pitcher. He's the pitcher of record. He was in line to take the loss. He's no longer in that position. And he can give himself the opportunity to try and get a win, possibly, although there is a lefty warming up in the bullpen for Westview. Visit to the mound here for pitching coach Richie Charles. 2 doubles given up here in this 7th inning by Cody Johnson. He needs to settle in and try and figure out a way out of this one. Roseburg will have the 9-1 2-hitters due up in the bottom of the 7th inning. A lot of changes. This has been a busy scorebook today for Westview. They brought up a number of players from their JV squad to bring with them here today. They will bring in a courtesy runner for what I will believe will be the catcher of the next inning, Josh Moreno. He heads back to the dugout after his double. And running for him will be, I don't believe that is Jack Pilot. Take a look-see here. That is Caden Rickman, who will take a trip out to second base to run. First pitch now to Mason Guerrera, misses after a lengthy visit there for pitching coach Richie Charles. Heads back to the dugout. 1-0 delivery. Hit high in the air for Guerrera. This one out towards left field. Calling for it, the shortstop, Caden Johnson, and he will secure it. He traveled a long way to get to it. That one was circling away from him, but he finishes underneath it for the final out. But the game-tying run comes across for Westview, and we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, tie ball game 2-2, as the Indians will come out to try and win it in a walk-off when we return here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
The new pitcher for Westview, number 16, Braden Munger.
Yet another pitcher for Westview into the game. It'll be Braden Munger who comes into the game. Mason Guerrera goes back to first. Trevor Antich will head back out to left. In center field is Williamson. And in right field is Cox. So it looks like Willoughby will be the guy that comes out of the game in favor of the new pitcher. So it'll be Munger that takes the mound. Braden Munger, a freshman, getting his first opportunity. Left-handed pitcher, sidearm slinger. And he will try to keep this a tie game and force extras. Jet Black will lead things off for Roseburg. The sophomore is 1 for 2 today. He'll step out before the first pitch. So now 6 pitchers used for Westview here this afternoon. Out of the windup, Munger's first pitch is low for ball 1. That is a real sweeping sidearm motion. He gets down real low, and that pitch was sweeping from right to left across the plate. Pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike for Jet, gives him a 1-1 count. Jet with a single to right field back in the 5th. Looked like an opportunity for the Indians to get a run. They did not. He fouls one back. Goes to 1-2. He was on at first. The courtesy runner, Luke Van Norman, was running on the play, so he got all the way to third. The Indians had runners on the corners, but could not bring in a run with 1 out. 1-2 pitch coming up now for Jet. Pitch is well outside. And it evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Munger looks like he shakes off one. Fire in, and he gets Jet to foul off another one. So the Indians need 1 run here in the bottom of the 7th to try and walk off with a victory here against the number 1 team in the state. I don't care how you draw it up, whether or not they use 6 pitchers or not. It's still a win against the number 1 team. This 7th inning brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? The 2-2 for Jet, and he takes for ball 3. The full count pitch. Strike 3 called. Whew. Jet will go down looking. 1 away.
Next batter, number 1, Garrett Russell.
To the top of the lineup, Garrett Russell will hit. Josiah Shipley back behind the plate now for Westview. First pitch for Russell is high and away for a 1-0 count. They sure do have an abundance of catchers on this team. The 1-0 delivery is high, and Garrett will have a 2-0 count. All-league voting coming up tomorrow for the Southwest Conference. They'll meet here in Roseburg to hash it all out. Be interested to see who makes the all-league voting for the Indians this year after a second-place finish. Russell will take a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike against Garrett. Garrett, I wholeheartedly believe, will land on there somewhere. 2-1 pitch upstairs. He's got a 3-1 count. He's batted pretty nicely in the leadoff spot for the Indians, so we'll see where he ends up. Jet Black warming up in the bullpen for the Indians. May get a chance to pitch coming up in the 8th inning if we go that far. Russell fights one off down the first base side. Foul for strike 2. Full count now for him. The Indians would likely not want to use Cody again because they want to make sure he is nice and healthy for the playoff run. Pitch is outside, ball 4, and the game-winning run on base for the Indians. 1 on, 1 out. And the Indians have speed on the bases.
Next batter, number 4, Caden
Garrett
Johnson.
will jog on down to first. Up to bat will be Caden Johnson, 0 for 3 in the ballgame. He's due. First pitch from the lefty, squaring to bunt, pulls it back, throw down to first. Russell back in safely. Johnson showing a bunt. He pulled it back and takes ball 1. Don't believe that they're looking to sacrifice a runner over here, so he must have been trying to get on with a base knock. Shipley behind the plate was quick on the throw down to first, but Russell was well ahead. Throw in, squaring to bunt again. It is down the first base side, but foul for strike 1. Evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike here for Caden. With the lefty on the mound, Russell not a huge lead over there at first. In fact, he's leaning back towards the bag. Squaring to bunt again, and the throw goes to first. Back in safely will be Russell standing up. Again, not a big lead out there, and he is heavily leaning back towards the bag, not wanting to get picked off. Already 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning, brought to you by Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair. The 1-1 pitch is high and away. Squaring to bunt again was Johnson. He's got a 2-1 count against him. Westview waiting to find out how the playoff shapes up after the final playing game is completed tonight. They don't know who they're playing in the first round yet. Pitch on the outside corner, called for a strike. Squaring to bunt, Johnson pulled back and took, and he takes for strike 2. 2-2, delivery coming up for Braden Munger, who's on the mound, the lefty, 6th pitcher in the game for Westview. Fires outside, running for second, in safely is Russell. Stolen base there for Garrett. And at the plate, it's a full count for Caden Johnson. An opportunity to try and drive in the game-winning run here. Just 1 out, so Russell can't be going just on contact. He'll have to be careful, and he doesn't even get that opportunity. A walk issued to Caden Johnson. Back-to-back base on balls for Braden Munger. And he's got 2 runners on base, in a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the 7th. Up next, Jonathan Stone will hit. He's 1 for 3 today, struck out swinging in his last at-bat. First pitch, swing and a miss, goes right through it. Munger looking to get a double play ball here. That would help finish out the inning. Swing and a miss for strike 2 for Stone. Jonathan going aggressively after the lefty, but has not made contact as of yet. 0-2 pitch. Stone watches outside. Ball 1 in the at-bat. At first base, Caden Johnson. Out at second base, Garrett Russell. One-two delivery coming up. They'll throw back to second. It's thrown out into center field. Up and running for third as the center fielder, Williamson, will trip. He didn't get a chance to throw back in, and up to third base goes Garrett Russell. Got a little excited with the throw to second. Munger made a nice jump spin move to throw to second, but airmails it out into the outfield. First error of the ball game. Runners on the corners with 1 away. Still at first base, Caden Johnson does not advance on the error. So Munger's attempted pickoff play costs him there. Russell at third, Johnson at first. At the plate, Jonathan Stone looking to try and bring in a run. Just get it to the outfield. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a huge strikeout there for Braden Munger. Second strikeout of the game for Jonathan Stone. 2 down. And the Indians now will look to Luke Lucido. Had a feeling he would stay in as a DH. Actually, I don't believe that's quite the case here. He'll come in for Luke Van Norman, who was hitting in this spot, but he'll probably then Van Norman will re-enter the game, I would imagine. Swing and a miss at the first pitch for Luke. The 0-1 delivery. Strike 2 called on the outside corner, and Luke Lucido, an 0-2 count against him. He comes in, he's only had a couple of at-bats this year. 5 total, he's batting .400. Runner going from first. They throw out to the second baseman. Everyone will be safe. On the mound, Braden Munger just had to step off with the runner going. He looked to third and threw to the second baseman, Brockman. He was out of position to try and make a play on Caden Johnson. And so everybody's safe. At the plate, able to hold off with 2 strikes against him. Lucido will take high. They do appeal down to first, and they say he did not go around. 1-2 pitch coming up here for Munger, trying to work out of this 7th inning and keep the game going. Misses outside. It goes 2-2. 2 down. 2 runners on, both in scoring position. The Indians need just 1 to walk off with a win against Westview. Here a 2-2 pitch for Luke Lucido. High and away, it goes full. A walk would load the bases and bring Zach Mandera to the plate. The 3-2 pitch, outside for ball 4. Bases are walked, loaded. With 2 outs, Mandera will need a base hit to try and drive in a run. But an error or a wild pitch or a pass ball could win this game for the Indians. 3 walks issued this frame by Braden Munger. But he's also struck out 2 to keep himself at least with a chance of getting out of danger here in this 7th inning. Brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Visit out to the mound for the coaching staff here for Westview. And they may make a change here. Thought the coach might have grabbed the baseball from Munger, but it doesn't quite look like that's what they're going to plan on doing. Well, Roseburg baseball will be back on the airwaves coming up on Monday. It is our first playoff game. It'll start at 4:30. Our pregame will start at 4:15. You'll be able to watch that one streaming online as well at 541radio.com, and we'll have it on the radio and streaming with the audio online at 541radio.com or on the 541 radio app. Mandera today is 0 for 2. Drew a walk his last time up. That would bring in the winning run. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. All squared up. Roseburg and Westview. First pitch low and outside from Munger to start out 1-0 count for Mandera. Roseburg has had a couple of walk-off wins this year. Looking for another. The 1-0 pitch to Mandera. Strike 1. It's called on the outside corner. Mandera has 1 strikeout today. Line drive shot, gets up the middle. Roseburg wins. Roseburg wins with a walk-off, and they beat Westview. The Indians are charging out on the field. And that'll do it. Roseburg wins. I don't know what the confusion was about there, but the Indians win it in a walk-off. Zach Mandera, his first hit of the game, up the middle. It'll end a 16-game winning streak for Westview. And it gives the Indians a 2-game winning streak heading into the postseason. And both of these teams now will look to try and build off of that as they head into the postseason. And we'll play first-round games coming up on Monday. I'm not sure if I was looking for the big moment. The Indians thought they had the big moment, and then everybody was confused as to why. I guess maybe they thought they might have made the play at second base before the final out was made. Looks like that's not the case. The winning run comes in. Scoring was Garrett Russell to give Roseburg a 3-2 victory on top of Westview. Great game here today. Hopefully a good tune-up for both teams heading into the postseason. They wouldn't meet until the championship game, if that is the case in the future. We'll go ahead and head to the Roseburg Disposal postgame show and wrap this one up. Take a look at how it all played out here today. Roseburg beats Westview 3-2, your final score here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer in you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
The Roseburg Indians win 3-2 in a walk-off here in the bottom of the 7th of a non-conference playoff tune-up game for the Roseburg Indians and the Westview Wildcats, as the Indians will go in with a 2-game winning streak. Westview sees their 16-game winning streak come to an end as they fall here against Roseburg today. Just the 3rd team to beat Westview this season. So a nice little chip on their a little feather in their cap there for the Roseburg Indians, although I'm sure Westview's game strategy wasn't the same as if this was a first-round playoff game or a playoff game of any sort. Probably would have seen things run out a little bit differently with their arms on the mound. But a win is a win, and the Roseburg Indians will take it. Zach Mandera hits a ground ball up the middle to drive in the game-winning run, and I guess looking back on it, we kind of deciphered what we figured the confusion might have been there to end the game, and I might have been a bit premature by proclaiming that Roseburg had won with the hit. The run was going to score, yeah, that's for sure, but the Indians had the bases loaded, so if a force out was available at any base, and if the runner on first, who had been Luke Lucido, didn't go to second, and they throw the ball in and make the force out at second, if it's a force out, even if the run has crossed the plate, it wouldn't count. The only time that would be the case is if it wasn't a force out, if it was a tag play If the run is already crossed but they make the out with the tag, well, then the run still counts. But if it's a force out, it doesn't matter when the run scores. If it's a force out and they make the out, the run doesn't count. So I think that was a bit of the confusion, as they thought they might have been able to make a play at second base to get the force out there, and in the inning, still tied 2-2. But the umpires, I think, may not have been paying attention. Maybe they were expecting that the game was over. Maybe the play wasn't there at all. I don't know. We're going to go back and look at the video once we're all done here. But that makes sense as to why some of the confusion was there. It looks like neither side puts up much of a fuss about it, if it was, in fact, a debatable play, as this just a game that didn't have a lot of meaning behind it, besides the fact that it was a tune-up for both teams, a chance to see some of the better teams in the state of Oregon. So Roseburg will take it. They get a win against Westview, and that will put Roseburg at 17-7 on the season. Westview drops to 23-3 on the year. Playoffs are coming up next for both of these teams. Coming up next for us here in the Roseburg Disposal post-game show, we will break down some of the numbers for you, recap the scoring, and take a look at how it all played out. Plus, we will name our Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning Player of the Game. Don't go anywhere. Want to let you know, Roseburg Baseball Today brought to you by our friends at Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel and Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. We'll take the break and come back and wrap up things with a look at how this one all played out here today and get you our Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning Player of the Game. More Roseburg Baseball after this on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back with more of the Roseburg Disposal post-game show as we wrap things up here for you from Legion Field. The Roseburg Indians pick up a 3-2 win on top of the visiting Westview Wildcats. Big win there for Roseburg. Confidence booster going into the postseason. Nice little tune-up for the Indians, and nice to get a win and go in with a 2-game winning streak as they get ready to take on Sherwood here from Legion Field coming up on Monday. Let's take a look at the Garrettson Building Supply scoreboard update. The Roseburg scoreboard has Westview with 2 runs on 4 hits. They committed 1 error. Roseburg with 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors in the contest for the Indians. Your winning pitcher will be Cody Johnson, who threw the top of the 7th inning. He did give up the game-tying run, but he was the pitcher of record when Roseburg scores the game-winning run in the bottom of the 7th. Johnson pitches 1 inning. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He didn't walk anybody and didn't strike anybody out, but he is your winning pitcher. Jay Stoffel started the game, went 5 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, it was earned, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. A real strong performance against a very good offense in Westview today for Jay Stoffel, but he does a nice job on the mound and settles in quite nicely. He gave up a hit in the first and in the second inning, but then did not give up a hit over the next 3 innings that he pitched before he was relieved by Zach Mandera. Mandera came in and pitched the 6th inning, and he gets a 1-2-3 inning as he gets 1 strikeout in that frame, but doesn't give up a hit, no walks, and no runs. Taking the loss is going to be Braden Munger. The lefty pitched 2/3 of an inning, was 1 out away from getting out of trouble there in the 7th inning, but with the bases loaded, he gives up his first hit as a single up the middle, and that scores Garrett Russell to win the game for the Indians. He gave up 1 hit, 1 run, and let's see here. Trying to decide if it's it was an earned run. So 1 run, it was earned. He didn't actually, he walked 3 guys and struck out 2 in his time on the mound, but Braden Munger takes the loss for Westview. They sent 6 pitchers to the mound today. Willie Weiss started, pitched 2 innings. They were 2 perfect innings. He had 3 strikeouts in that time. Ben Brockman threw an inning. Jacob Cox threw an inning. Evan Williamson threw an inning. Mason Guerrera threw an inning. And then Braden Munger gets touched for the loss as he pitched the final 2/3 of the ball game. Roseburg trailed 1-0 after Westview got a 1-0 lead in the top of the 2nd. It was a leadoff double by Monte Woods. He got to third on a wild pitch and then scored on a ground out by Carter Sakamoto. And that brought in the go-ahead run for Westview, 1-0 at the time. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, though, leadoff man Dorn Gillespie hits a solo home run over the left field fence to tie it up at 1 apiece, his first home run of the season. It was a 1-1 game until the 6th inning when Roseburg would score on a wild pitch. Brody Black got on with a single to right field. Luke Lucido came in to run for him, and Lucido scores on a wild pitch to give the Indians a 2-1 lead. In the top of the 7th inning, though, Westview would strike back, and they would get back into the ballgame, tying it up at 2-2. A double for Ben Brockman led off the inning, and he later scored on a sacrifice fly by Jacob Cox to make it a 2-2 game. In the bottom of the 7th against Braden Munger, Munger gets a strikeout to lead off the game, but then walks back-to-back hitters, puts Garrett Russell and Caden Johnson on, gets a strikeout against Jonathan Stone, so there's 2 down. Then he walks Luke Lucido to load the bases, and Zach Mandera drives home the winning run with his single. So the Indians win 3-2 on top of Westview here today and head into the postseason with a 2-game winning streak. Again, the game today doesn't affect anything for the postseason. Roseburg still going to be facing Sherwood, still going to be the number 11 seed in the playoffs. Westview still going to be the number 1 seed, still waiting to find out who they'll face once all the play-in games are complete, which they should be tonight after Grants Pass and Forest Grove finish up their meeting there. If Grants Pass can win, it'll make it 6 teams into the first round of the state playoffs for the Southwest Conference. So that is a look at things here today, checking out some of your offensive numbers. Evan Williamson goes 1 for 3. Really, actually, nice by Roseburg's pitching staff to hold Willie Weiss to an 0 for 3 day. He has been a top hitter in the state, but he was unable to get going today. Ben Brockman goes 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Monte Woods goes 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, a walk, and a stolen base. Jacob Cox goes 0 for 2 but had a sacrifice fly for an RBI. Carter Sakamoto goes 0 for 2 but had an RBI on a ground out. Josh Moreno picked up a double in the 7th inning. Mason Guerrero goes 0 for 3. Tyler Antich goes 0 for 2. And Bo Willoughby goes 0 for 2 as well. For the Roseburg Indians, Garrett Russell goes 1 for 3 as he reached base 3 times, got on with a single, a fielder's choice, and a walk. He also had a stolen base and a run scored. Caden Johnson walked once, had a stolen base. Jonathan Stone goes 1 for 4. Brody Black goes 1 for 3 with a single. Luke Lucido drew a walk in his 1 at-bat in the ballgame. Zach Mandera goes 1 for 3 with the game-winning RBI single. And let's see here. Dorn Gillespie goes 1 for 3 with a home run. And Jet Black was 1 for 3 in the game today as well. So that is a look at your offensive numbers today as the Indians wrap up the regular season and get ready for the playoffs. It's time now here in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show to name our Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning Player of the Game. Your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. For the Roseburg Indians, today's Player of the Game. Trying to look through it here. Nobody, it looked like, ended up with multiple hits in the game. Zach Mandera had the game winner. Brody Black came up with a big hit that got the game go-ahead run at the time to come across. The home run by Doran Gillespie was pretty good. Jay Stoffel had a nice pitching performance. Cody Johnson finishes out with a win. You know, I'm going to give it, as I run through it all in my head, I got accused of making my decisions too fast the last time I did that, so I'm trying to take some time here and look it over, and I forgot to do it in between innings. Going to give it to Jay Stoffel for a really strong start today against, at the time, what was probably one of the top offensive lineups in the state, as he faced a lot of the starters for the first 5 innings and held them in check here against Westview today. So a really good performance today for Jace. Hopefully a good confidence builder for him going into the playoffs, as he hopefully will be needed at some point for the Roseburg Indians as they look to make a deep run in the 6A state playoffs this season. We are going to start wrapping it up there. We want to let you know that, again, next week, Roseburg will begin the state playoffs. They host Sherwood on Monday, 4:30 first pitch, 4:15 pregame here on The Score, and also online at 541radio.com. Coming up on Friday, Off the Wall with me, Joey Kieran, will be up at Hayward Field in Eugene for the state track and field meet. We'll be up there talking to local athletes and getting you updates on what's been going on in the state track and field meet. So tune in. We've got a 2-hour special. We'll be up there from noon till 2, broadcasting live from Hayward Field, thanks to B&D Meats down in Winston. So tune in for Off the Wall from the State Track and Field Meet, presented by B&D Meats in Winston, coming up on Friday from 12 to 2. Tennis also starting its state championship tournament tomorrow. Roseburg has both boys and girls competing there at the state tournament coming up tomorrow. We'll have updates for you throughout the day as we get them. And, that'll be about all that we want to let you know coming up on the schedule. Roseburg softball also is going to host a playoff game coming up on Monday. That's against Roosevelt. Well, as we wrap things up here, we want to say thanks to Westview for making the trip down here on a game that they could have easily decided, we don't want to make the trip for this one. Very nice of them to make it down here, and it was a good game for both sides. Hopefully it suits everybody well going into the postseason. But thanks to Westview for helping us get ready for today's broadcast. As always, want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, Head Coach Troy Thompson, and the entire Roseburg baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg baseball here on 1490 The Score. Want to say thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for doing production work today. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for today's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran, folks. We will talk to you on Monday when the Roseburg Indians host the Sherwood Bowman in Game 1 of the postseason for the Roseburg Indians. A first-round playoff matchup coming up for the Indians. First pitch is at 4:30. Our pregame coverage will start at 4:15. You can watch the game streaming live online at 541radio.com or follow the action right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio. 1490 The Score. All right, Brenton, thanks so much, man.